This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening everyone and welcome to Southern Cross News. Police are continuing the search for an offender over the stabbing of a man in Glenorchy late yesterday. The incident unfolded in front of families who had spent the day at the Royal Hobart Show, with the victim now recovering in hospital. Our reporter Louise Hedger has the details.
Authorities are still searching for those responsible for the stabbing attack, which happened at the Bunnings car park in Glenorchy at about 4 o'clock yesterday. Police say after the man had been stabbed numerous times in the arm and the back, a man and a woman then fled on foot, leaving the chaotic scene in their wake. This blue Mazda and empty pram cordoned off in the crime scene as forensics investigate. There was a police operation in Moona this afternoon where residents were questioned and bushland was searched, but authorities wouldn't confirm whether it was related to the stabbing incident. Still no arrests have been made. A bystander says the victim and his partner were reportedly trying to stop the attack as there were distressed children in the car nearby. The car park was busy at the time due to large crowds from the show. Families left shocked as they witnessed the incident unfold. It's understood this was a premeditated attack, with the victim and offender known to one another. Despite the man receiving multiple stab wounds, they were non-life-threatening and he's recovering in hospital. Tasmania Police is yet to release any information on the possible offender or release any details to the public at this stage, but they are urging anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers.
The state government is facing yet another headache tonight, with the Premier's former Chief of Staff speaking out about its lack of direction since the election win. But some of Brad Stansfield's comments are being challenged tonight, with a former Labor staffer offering his own insights into the state of Tasmanian politics.
Brad Stansfield was the Premier's former right-hand man and Chief of Staff for 8 years, but now he's split from the government and working in a private public relations firm. He's ready to unleash.
It's someone who is starting a new career as a political commentator, as a political analyst for hire, and he's trying to show that he's got things to say, he's got background and knowledge.
Writing in a column today, he said the government is currently lacking a clear sense of direction and purpose, and there's a growing sense it's merely responding to events rather than controlling them, pointing to troubles like this week's teacher strikes, health system pressures and Minister Courtney's relationship with her department chief. Mr Stansfield wouldn't answer our questions on camera today, but a former Labor rival says it's interesting times in politics.
I've been able to watch politics from the outside now for the last 6 months, and it's been interesting. The Liberals have uncharacteristically stumbled, and I'm sure Brad wants people to read between the lines and think that's down to him not being there.
The former Labor staffer doesn't agree with some of Brad Stansfield's assessments. His article criticising the government for dropping its plan to change gun laws.
I think Brad was wrong on that point he made. I think the government had no choice but to walk away from the guns policy. They didn't talk to the community about it.
Mr Stansfield also took aim at Labor leader Rebecca White for sticking to her anti-pokies policy after the election loss. But this former Labor staffer says it was the right choice.
I think the big danger in dumping a policy like the strong stance on pokies is people will ask, well, what do you stand for? And a lot of people did vote Labor because of their strong stance on pokies.
The Liberals and Labor weren't keen to talk about Mr Stansfield's unsolicited advice today. The government released a statement saying he's entitled to his views, but it won't be distracted by commentary.
No one knows more about the inner workings of the Hodgman government than Brad Stansfield, so to have him commentating would make Will Hodgman a little bit nervous, I reckon.
The government says it's focused on delivering its plan to support economic growth and invest in essential services. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
As the centenary of Armistice nears, Tasmania prepares to remember those who paid the ultimate price. Today, the Tasmanian Army Band, along with servicemen and women, welcomed the first of several American guests flying in to Launceston for the November 11 service.
After almost 10,000 miles in the sky, the first of the state's American Remembrance Day guests arrived. Among those on hand to greet them, Tasmania's subunit of the Australian Army Band.
What was it like coming
getting off that plane and being welcomed by the band?
That has never happened before in my life, so it was quite impressive.
After a warm embrace and an emotional reunion, those who had served together finally reunited.
I'm just over the moon. It's taken 2 years of hard work to get this together, hasn't it, Joe?
It has. It has.
The purpose of the visit to attend the Longford Remembrance Day service and commemorate the thousands of Tasmanians who lost their lives in World War I.
It's a great moment because Lieutenant Colonel Harry Murray, who's the most decorated soldier in the Commonwealth, in fact, will be commemorated, and we have the Vice Consul from the United States coming, and of course the Governor of Tasmania, so it will be a very, very big occasion.
The celebration here in Australia will be much bigger than the one in the United States, so I'm looking forward to this.
Today's group of Americans is the first of three, including the United States Marines, who will arrive here in the lead-up to the service at Longford on November 11.
And it's just an amazing opportunity for them to really experience, a different but so similar culture, and one of our greatest allies. So we're just really thrilled to be here.
Jessie Gilmore, Southern Cross News.
This year's Royal Hobart Show has wrapped up with people braving the weather for the final day, Family Day. As well as the rides and sideshow games, visitors also took in shows and demonstrations with a more agricultural focus.
We're promoting Tasmanian agricultural pursuits, so there's still cattle, sheep, alpacas, goats, fleece, all those kind of things, and of course show bags and rides down here.
Despite the wet weather impacting crowds today, organisers say they've had strong numbers across the event. An unusual feat has been undertaken in Hobart, with a group of frontline and ex-military service workers today flipping a truck tyre for 2 kilometres straight in the name of charity. The tyre flip challenge was undertaken in solidarity with Private Matthew Williams, who was recently given a terminal brain cancer diagnosis.
He's rallied everyone, seeing who wanted to get amongst it, and the nation has spoken. This is going national now, showing that he's not in this fight on his own.
Everyone's doing really well, loving the rain. Excuse me, got to do some flipping.
The event aims to raise funds and awareness of brain cancer research. Some of the country's most skillful Scottish dancers have today converged on Launceston. This year's international judging panel certainly had a challenging task, picking winners at the Tasmanian Highland Dancing Championships.
In traditional attire, competitors of all ages danced the Highland Fling. The Tasmanian crowd cheering on every effort.
We're looking for nice, strong dancing, pointed feet, turned out knees, all the things, we look for the same things worldwide.
The top level dancers are amazing, absolutely amazing. They're like finely tuned athletes, they really are amazing.
This year's judges hailing from Scotland, America and interstate, with the 2018 event of particular significance.
Because this is our special year, this is our 50th anniversary of our Tasmanian National Dancing Association, it's really fantastic that we can get overseas judges as well as our really lovely mainland judges as well.
Dancers from South Australia, Victoria, the ACT and Tasmania took to the floor today.
I've been coming out to Australia now for many years, and I'm always very struck by how many Highland dancers there are and their keenness to be involved. It's amazing.
The little group, the primary dancers, and they're the ones that are 6 years old and younger. And it was so inspiring to see the future champions of Australia competing today.
A choreographed group event will take place in Launceston tonight, followed by a workshop tomorrow. Jessie Gilmore, Southern Cross News.
Tasmania has posted a small target for Western Australia on day 3 of the Sheffield Shield clash at the Wacker Ground in Perth. The Tigers hit a rough patch with Jordan Silk, Jake Doran and George Bailey out in the space of just 14 runs. Matthew Wade provided a half-century, leading Tasmania to an innings total of 208. Heading into bat, Western Australia trailed by 186 runs.
Good evening. We had a few showers across the state today with maximum temperatures up to 5 degrees below average. Launceston got to 21, which was the state's high, 20 degrees in Devonport, Burnie 19 and a top of 14 in Hobart. It was 19 at St Helens, Friendly Beaches a high of 18, Flinders Island, Smithton, Lowhead and Maria Island all reached a top of 17. It was 15 on King Island, 14 at Ouse, 13 at Strawn, 5 at Harts Mountain and Lyowini had the state's low of 1 degree. A frontal cloud band crossed over the state today. Zooming out, we can see thunderstorms over parts of WA extending across the border into South Australia and the Northern Territory. The rest of the country is mostly clear. Tomorrow, a cold front will sit over Tasmania with a weak ridge over the southeast of the mainland. South to southwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, seas up to 3 metres. And there is a strong wind warning current for eastern and southern coastal waters from the tip of Flinders Island to Low Rocky Point. A frost warning is also current for northern, eastern and inland forecast districts. In Hobart tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 15 degrees, the same for Richmond. Partly cloudy also for Ouse, 14. A sunny day for Launceston, 18 degrees, the same for Devonport, 15 and 16 for Deloraine with early frost. In Burnie, sunny and 15, a light shower or 2 for Strawn, 13 degrees in Curry. Sunny and 16 for St Helens, Swansea 15 and also sunny for Whitemark, 16 degrees. UV 7 across the board. On Monday, fine apart from morning showers about the far south, showers developing about the southwest on Tuesday, extending throughout the west and south during the afternoon. And on Wednesday, more showers contracting to the northeast in the afternoon. Looking around the country tomorrow, a sunny day for Perth, 28 degrees, Adelaide partly cloudy, 22, 18 and mostly sunny in Melbourne, a top of 23 for Canberra, cloudy for Sydney, 19 and a possible late shower for Brisbane.
Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow. I'm Rachel Williams. Good night.